What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Leo coming to you guys with yet another video. So we're gonna be checking out 10 early winners for WWE Royal Rumble 2024. Even though the Royal Rumble is pretty much a couple months away, I'm very interested to see what woke culture and Simon's gonna have to say as far as his early predictions. As far as Royal Rumble go. For me personally, honestly, I think the two people that I think are going to win, I think is going to be Gunther for the men. I think Gunther is going to win for the men, the men's Royal Rumble, and for the women, I think Liv Morgan is going to be the one to win the women's Royal Rumble. But let's see what Simon has to say as far as who he thinks are 10 early winners for the Royal Rumble 2024.
It's time for the Royal Rumble. No, it's not. I'm way too early, unless, of course, you're watching this from the future, which is a YouTube thing, and if so, hello, time traveler. But the other day, somebody did come up to me and said, "Oh, hi, Simon, who do you think should win the 2024 Royal Rumbles?" I was like, man, it's a really good question. Like, it's kind of hard to answer because we need to be closer to January so we can see the lay of the land, but because I am a nerd, I couldn't help myself. So yes, hello, my friends, I am Simon from What Culture. Thank you for tuning in, and please do subscribe. And here is 10 early winners for the Rumble 2024. Number 10, Raquel Rodriguez. But as of me talking, we are building up slowly to Raquel Rodriguez versus Rhea Ripley for the W.
I can see it happening. I can see her being... I feel like if you're to put your top 5 women to win, she's definitely got to be in the top 5, because I do think, regardless of how she's been booked, if she had a better character, I think she would be taken more serious. But if you look at her NXT run, I do think that she does have a lot to pretty much offer for the women's division. She deserves to be taken serious. I think she definitely, when I heard she was going to the main roster initially, I was like, well, they're going to have a women, for the women, she's going to be a monster, but they just had her do this whole smiling gimmick, and it's pretty much just been that ever since. But hopefully she's able to shake back.
WWE Women's Championship, or Heavyweight Championship, whatever the hell we're calling it. And here's the deal, Raquel has to lose, it ain't a time. If anything, you could argue that WWE has pulled the trigger on this a little bit too early, because clearly we have a future star in Raquel, which is why we need to treat her with kid's glove. Don't go throwing her into the ground. The thing is, when she is allowed to spread her wings and fly, she is totally going to smash it, because one, she already proved this down at NXT, but also two, she has a unique look, and she looks like she could kick your ass. It's massively important. That's the point of wrestling. So at the moment, all she really does is smile and flex her back, which is kind of okay, but we do need more. So if you do finally want to get into it, what do? We get to the Royal Rumble 2024 and we say, Raquel, this is your year, much like quite clearly 2023 should be the year of Rhea Ripley. So the potential is there, it just needs to be realized. Sometimes that should be what the Royal Rumble is for. Do it. Number 9, Solo Sikoa.
Only Xfinity gives you access to the most live sports. This is the...
I mean, you could essentially copy and paste what I just said for Solo in 2024. Sometimes things just make sense. Now, Solo Sikoa, in terms of where he's at in the pecking order, is miles ahead of Raquel Rodriguez, because he has been an essential pivot point within the Bloodline story, and the Bloodline story is one of the most successful things that WWE has ever done. And to ignore that would be crazy, because we've seen the benefit that it's had with Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, so the next person that has to benefit is this chap. The final piece is, of course, making sure that he becomes a superstar. So when we get to the Royal Rumble, we do actually have some options, because that's our next super big pay-per-view premium live event. So if there you want to do Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa, well, I ain't going to argue with you. In fact, I'd greenlight it. Thing is, we did the Sami Zayn match in February of this.
I feel like for Solo, I do see him possibly turning on Roman, because I think that is the final thing that we're waiting for as far as the Bloodline story goes. And then from there, it'll be a situation where Roman's pretty much by himself. Then he's going to be in a very vulnerable state for somebody like a Cody Rhodes or someone like that to take the title off of him then. But Solo, I do think, is going to turn probably by the end of the year. And we'll probably, when we get to the Royal Rumble, I think that might be one of the matches on the card, honestly. I do think we might get Solo versus Roman at Royal Rumble. Maybe I'm wrong. Comment down below, do you guys feel like Solo versus Roman is probably going to happen at Royal Rumble?
this year, that was totally fine. So maybe you could have Solo wins the Royal Rumble. He then has his one-on-one match with the head of the table, and that's why they break up, because Roman's like, well, you're not going to, use that Royal Rumble win to take my championship, are you? Zakara's like, I'm not sure. And then they fight. And look, you can still get to WrestleMania 40 and do Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns, which is what I think is going to happen, because it means Solo can go after the other championship. And it doesn't matter if Seth Rollins has it, Finn Balor has it, or even a Damian Priest. Why can't he win? Seriously, think about it. Why can't he become the World Heavyweight Champion on Raw? There's no reason not to do it. So at the very least, he should be in the conversation, and if he's not part of the Final Four, well, I'm not going to do anything about it. What can I do? I'll just be sad. Number 8, Bayley. Bayley is awesome. As of late, we have teamed her up with Shotzi, the bald-headed warrior, and of course the reason we've done this is that Shotzi needs to get some licks in there, so management went, well, who can make her better? Of course, it's Bayley. When you do break it down as well in terms of the 4 horsewomen, only one of these members has not won the Royal Rumble, and if you haven't figured it out, you're not listening, the answer is Bayley. So just because she is so damn good, and because she has given so much to...
out of the 4 horsewomen, for being honest, Sasha Banks didn't win either, but I guess he probably didn't mention it just because she's in AEW, or not AEW, but probably end up in AEW, and then she's in New Japan right now, so that probably why he didn't really mention it. But Bayley is somebody else that I do think should win a Royal Rumble. I just don't think it's going to be this one. I feel like maybe 2025, I think they should have her win, and then I feel like at that point she might be a babyface again. I feel like her heel run, I feel like it's for when she first became a heel, I was a fan, but over time I just really didn't become a fan of her heel run again anymore. Honestly, like what she's doing right now is just, I feel like she's kind of watered down from what she used to be. Maybe just because it was a different division back then, but I do think maybe she needs something. She needs something to kind of get her back into the swing of things for sure. But I just don't know if it's the Royal. Maybe have her win Money in the Bank next year. We'll see. Maybe, I mean, I don't know what moments they're gonna have next year. I really don't know, like pay-per-view wise. They were gonna do King and Queen of the Ring, but they didn't do it. If they were to bring that back, I could see her being possibly one of them to win it, but I just don't know. Royal Rumble, I feel like would be a great moment for her, but I just don't know if they should do that right now. Maybe you start to build towards her winning the Royal Rumble in 2025, post-Mania in 2024.
Professional wrestling, I think this is one of those, well, she deserves it scenarios, so give it to her. I mean, she just has such high quality work no matter what character you give her. And look, WWE loves going, oh, if you win the Royal Rumble, you're going to main event WrestleMania. But that's not true. Look at SummerSlam that we just had. There was like 7 main events, which doesn't make any sense. So by the time we get to next year's Mania, there's probably going to be 42. Nowadays, there's just important matches. I mean, you can even tie this in with her face turn because she has been a bad guy for ages. It's not like people don't love her, they do. If you wanted to go super long term as well, don't forget Io Sky has just cashed in the briefcase. So if you could keep this rocking and rolling, you could build up the big Damage Control meltdown, and then those two could fight at WrestleMania for Io Sky's brand new championship. And Bayley could actually lose then too, who the flub knows. Just make sure she wins the Royal Rumble, full stop. Number 7, Cody Rhodes. So this would be my pick, and I know that's really boring and obvious, but
I think Cody, I feel like, is definitely in the top 3 to possibly to win. For me personally, I did have him winning next year, but after like looking at it a little bit deeper, I feel like he's not gonna win. I think there's gonna be a situation where he ends up on SmackDown and Roman uses Solo or maybe Jimmy to help eliminate Cody or screw him out of winning it, or something along the lines of that, and then he wins Elimination Chamber, and I think Jimmy and Solo will be part of it, and Cody beats both of them to go on to face Roman for the title at Mania. So I do think he's not going to win the Royal Rumble, but I do think he's going to win the Elimination Chamber.
I just think when we get to WrestleMania 40, we should do the obvious storyline, which is Cody versus Roman round 2. This time, Reigns has no friends, he has no buddies, he has no family. It's just him and his championships. The American Nightmare takes them from the head of the table, and then our tribal chief goes, well, now I'm all alone. Why not? I mean, Cody is still so over despite his loss at Mania 39. This could send him into the stratosphere. Because don't forget, when like Brock Lesnar beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania 30 and ended the streak, he was able to climb the ladder. And given that Roman has held the belt for 7,966 days, if you do this right, well, I think you could do the same thing with Rhodes. You could also do a total 180, and this time he enters at number 1 before winning. Once again, I'm going to ask you that question with these 2 words. Why not? Would it make you feel warm and fuzzy in your tum-tum? Yes, it would. Just make sure the last 2 aren't him and LA Knight. That would be bad.
Oh,
talk about that in a second. But so many people like to go, oh man, that's so boring. But you don't put on a romantic comedy and go, man, I hope one of the 2 main characters murders the other one. No, you just want to see them kiss and make love. It's really weird. Let's just talk about something else. Number 6, Shayna Baszler.
Shayna Baszler is one that I feel like would be a dark. Hey!
Okay, so
what it takes to win. It's just if WWE is going to put a lot of stock into her. Maybe, I don't know, with the whole merger, since, you know, there's WWE and UFC involved, maybe this will kind of be a beneficial thing for her. But at the same time, it remains to be seen. And I feel like we have to see things play out before we can make an assumption of her winning the Rumble. But in my personal opinion, she does have a case to win because she's really never challenged for like main titles like that. Well, she has, but really came up short. And they've kind of been booking her a little strong as late. They kind of been using her a little bit more. So I do think that this could lead to something. I don't know if it's her winning the Rumble, but I do think it's going to lead to something, for sure.
Oh, let's chat momentum.
Honestly, maybe she's the one to win Money in the Bank next year. I think she definitely deserves to win a Money in the Bank ladder match, for sure. And then have her cash and become champ, for sure. I think her and maybe Rhea probably will face each other by the end of the year, or probably going into Rumble. I think I can see that happening.
Let's talk about SummerSlam, because at that event, Ronda Rousey was defeated by Shayna Baszler in a very strange MMA rules match, but Shayna basically submitted her or tapped her out or beat her via this kind of a method. And had anybody else in WWE ever done that? No, this was big. And getting a win like this over Rousey should be treated like a big deal forevermore. So if you don't have plans for Shayna right now, then what was the point? Like, it's absolutely waste of everybody's time. You have to capitalize on these things, otherwise we become sad pandas. There it is again. So I hope we get on this train and ride it all the way to the success town, which for me would be a win at the Royal Rumble, or once again at least a very damn strong showing. Baszler also just feels legit because she is, and if you need a template, just go and look what she did in NXT and copy and paste that. Now, when she was brought up to the main roster first time, it kind of felt like we were going to do this until we took the idea and poof, we kicked it out the window. You can also spend all this time by saying, oh my gosh, she made Ronda Rousey retire, to the point, if she did win a championship or something like the Rumble, I think most individuals would be like, yeah, I get it. That's why we did what we did. So I'm very passionate about this one because I just think Shayna Baszler is so underutilized. Even more so if Rousey has gone. You've got to use what she has. Otherwise, why am I even here? Number 5, Logan Paul.
No.
Did you hear that?
No. Nah. People isn't. You see how people were reacting to the possibility of Logan Paul winning Money in the Bank. You do not want to have him winning the Rumble. I'm gonna just be honest. Don't do that.
It was the internet melting down. Let's go. So like him or hate him, Logan Paul has become a terrific sports entertainer / wrestler. And I went back and watched that match he had with Ricochet at SummerSlam. It's only like, what, his 4th or 5th contest? I do not get it. He's amazing. He just seems to get better and better too, which is why so many people were saying, oh my gosh, he should win Money in the Bank, and why so many people will be going, oh, he should win the Royal Rumble. Because not only would it get a mega reaction, but it would get WWE.
Like, at best, I think he's going to challenge for a mid-card title. I think that's probably what's going to end up happening. Will he win? I don't know. But knowing WWE, they probably would put like a mid-card title. I could see him going after the Intercontinental or the US.
His favorite thing in the world, mainstream attention. And you know that Paul would go on about this in every single interview that he did do because he'd be so damn proud. And do not tie this into the past. People go, oh, we made David Arquette champion in WCW. We shouldn't have done that. This is totally different. If David Arquette was having matches like Logan Paul, nobody would give a damn. I also actually think that having the Royal Rumble winner absence from TV would be something different. And we have had a lot of Rumbles. And no, I don't think he's going to go on to be the person to throw Roman Reigns. But this is a Solo Sikoa situation. There is another belt. And you could do Seth Rollins, and that would be an interesting rematch from what we did this WrestleMania. And if it was someone like Finn Balor or Damian Priest, I tell you this, I think WWE would actually have Logan Paul win. Oodalally. And it would be unbelievable if we did do this and Paul cheated like he did at SummerSlam. I don't think Twitter or X would ever get over it. I'm not saying that there aren't wrestlers who deserve this more. That's not the point. I'm just saying, if you are trying to explode the world, well, we do have an option. Number 4, Charlotte Flair. Now, let's just be honest with ourselves. At some point, WWE is going to go, oh my God.
No. Just no. No, 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 no. Do not have her win. Bro, I was literally, when I seen her, I was actually there when she won the Royal Rumble the first time, and I didn't want her winning. Bro, because I feel like at that point, I feel like they're just pushing it. At the point, they're just pushing her down everybody's throats at that point, because it's like, you give her every accolade under the WWE umbrella, and it's like, those opportunities could be used for other women to possibly propel themselves to be taken serious and be getting more opportunities in the future. That can be reserved for somebody like a lot of these people on there. I wouldn't be upset if it happened, but Logan Paul, I would rather Logan Paul win a Royal Rumble than Charlotte Flair win the Rumble. I'm gonna just be completely honest with you. And that one ain't gonna happen. That one shouldn't happen. But Charlotte, no, you already won a Rumble. No, 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 no. No more tight. Do not. I don't want to see her compete for a championship. Well, it probably end up happening, but anyway, because it's Charlotte Flair, you know how WWE is with Charlotte Flair. But do not have her win the Rumble. I think the match that we need between Mania is either have her compete against Bianca for the title, or have her face the newly signed wrestler Jade Cargill. That's the only 2 matches I care about. But do not have her win the Rumble. Please no. Please no. No.
Gosh, Charlotte Flair is so close to beating Ric Flair's world title record. Shall we do the narrative today? Yes, we shall. And given that in 2024 it is going to be WrestleMania 40, and they're probably going to want the Nature Boy there, and to make it all historic, I can actually see a scenario where Charlotte Flair wins the Royal Rumble, she wins at WrestleMania. By that point, she has broken the record, and everybody's happy, apart from that little group on the internet that seems to hate the Queen, but we can't do anything about that. You also get to tell the tale that it's Charlotte's second time of winning a Royal Rumble, which is important. So actually, if you did put all the pieces in the right place, it probably worked. Now, if I'm honest, I couldn't actually tell you what number Charlotte Flair is on at the moment when it comes to championships. The WWE changes their mind all the time. They're just going to do it again, so I'm not bothering myself with this. Number 3, Gunther. I mean, it's got to happen eventually, right? Gunther's on fire. But he has done so well as the Intercontinental Champion. When he is defeated...
The guy has literally had one of the best years I've seen. Like, he's literally had a breakout year. Like, he is literally... When he won the Intercontinental Championship, did I think he was going to have a reign like this? Absolutely not. I thought he was going to probably hold it for maybe a couple of months and then drop it. But this guy has literally rejuvenated the Intercontinental Championship back to the prestige that it once was, and now it's probably one of the most important championships right now. Me personally, I think this championship is more important than the undisputed title, and that's crazy for you to think, because it's like, well, isn't the WWE Championship or undisputed championship the big championship, like the main event title? Yes, but the thing is, the champion is not always there, which in a sense makes the title. I don't know if it makes the title important, but it makes when he comes back important, I feel like, for Roman. But this championship is literally, in my opinion, the most important championship right now, because all the matches he has done. And what's another crazy thing to think about, he's not only he has had the longest reigning championship reign for the Intercontinental Championship, the matches he's had was great. And here's another thing. When we all say when we look back at this, he's gonna go down as one of the greatest Intercontinental Champions of all time. Let's be honest. He's gonna go down as one of the greatest of all time. And when he eventually drops the title, it's only a matter of time before they propel him up to the main event scene. And I do think with him coming so close last year, I think there's a strong case for him to win it next year. I really do. And I do think a lot of people believe he should, and I believe he should. I think he's probably the only one I can really see being ready for the main event scene come Mania next year.
For that title, no one's going to go, oh man, what a loser. No, we're going to go back to yesteryear, and we're going to use it as a stepping up point, and then all of a sudden he's going to be in the main event. Damn right. And by September the 7th, 2023, if he does make it, he will surpass the Honky Tonk Man's Intercontinental title record. And then even if Drew McIntyre beats him for it, nobody is
This was in early September when he recorded this. Well, he is the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion.
Going to give a flub. It actually just opens up the ring general to go and do something new. I really do think that 2024 should be another 12-month period where Gunther is put front and center. So he needs to win the Royal Rumble, he needs to win a World Championship, and then he needs to be the dominant end-of-level boss. Especially if we end the Bloodline angle,
bro,
he could actually step
him
into...
versus Brock Lesnar, I think, could be very interesting. I thought, like, me personally, I feel like this was a match that I wanted to see, like, this past year Mania, and even next year's Mania, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Maybe they'll end up having this match maybe at SummerSlam next year or something.
Roman Reigns' position. I'm not saying he's going to beat him, but that's how he could be portrayed. Although saying that, if he was the guy to defeat the Tribal Chief, would I care? No. No, I wouldn't at all. Number 2, Liv Morgan.
Let's take this house.
Like, if you guys haven't seen my videos of me talking about it.
What if I told you every time you put $1 into a Fidelity IRA,
well, not this year, but next year, you know what I mean?
a new potential future is
Story
born.
is there from start to finish.
Unlock more
Literally,
possibilities for your future with just
anybody
$1 and a Fidelity IRA.
Paying close attention.
Because eventually we just gotta go with her. Because not only does Liv Morgan really give a shit, people actually like her. And if you are going to be a babyface wrestler, that's super important. The fans warm to you. It's also really hard to establish in 2023 because we're a cynical old bunch. So when she does come back from injury, especially if she's a surprise in the 2024 Rumble and she wins, I think that would create quite the conversation. It also ties back to Morgan's first championship run, which was not done well at all, because she was cast as such a goober for some reason. Like, she basically fluked her way into every single win, but that's okay. You can go through many a wrestler that had their first run with a title, and it was just a bit meh, as long as you learn from it and move on. So if everything does line up, and she can be a surprise, well, I can think of worse winners than Liv Morgan. Number 1, LA Knight. And obviously, should have guessed this from the point I said hello. Because at the moment, LA Knight is so over that nothing short of strapping a rocket to his back is going to do. And sure, by the time we get to the Royal Rumble, he could be a mid-card champion and he could have beaten The Miz or somebody else in many a feud. But I think...
would love to see LA Knight win, honestly. I really do. I just don't know if WWE is going to actually pull the trigger on it. I think if they were to, I think nobody would be upset. Because the guy is literally mega over everywhere he goes. Like, people are wanting to see him for sure. And I think even last week when he wasn't there because he got pulled because he caught the virus and whatnot. But people really wanted their refund just because he wasn't there. And that just lets you know how big of a deal LA Knight really is. And how much people really care about LA Knight. So at some point, they can't keep ignoring the fans, even though WWE is known for doing that. But in this situation, they can't. Because everywhere they go, people are chanting this guy's name. When I went to Raw, people were chanting this guy's name. And he wasn't even on the brand. So that just lets you know people really want them some LA Knight. So at some point, you're going to have to give the fans what they want. Is it a Royal Rumble win? Who knows, maybe. But I think for sure he's probably going to win a mid-card championship, probably by Mania, or even at Mania, honestly.
If this organic rise continues, eventually we got to put him in a major position. If you don't do that, WWE's going to look like a silly Billy, and nobody wants to look like a silly Billy. And let's not forget this has happened before. Stone Cold Steve Austin was never meant to be a top guy, but all of a sudden people started to go, oh my gosh, I love the rattlesnake, and we went with it. And look at the results. I'm not saying that LA Knight is going to be able to replicate that, but I am saying if we hadn't done that with Steve, he would forever been known as the ringmaster. That sucked. Ultimately, I just think we need to know, can we take someone like Knight that was never destined to be in the main event picture and actually make it click? Because if he did win the Royal Rumble and then he went to WrestleMania, I think a lot of people are going to be damn excited, and that's the point of wrestling. You also want to tell the audience that we are going big here with a big momentous win, which is why, even if he never gets a world championship, allow him to win the Royal Rumble. I mean, we've done that before. Somebody wins the thing and then they get screwed. I mean, that would kill us, but at least we'll always have January 2024. Let's keep everything crossed. Now, please do leave a comment below and let me know who should be winning the Royal Rumble 2.
Well, that's the end of the video, you guys. Make sure you super kick that like button, Superman punch that post notification button, spear that subscribe button. We're on the road to 700. We're at 664 subscribers right now, so we're getting closer and closer to that milestone. But comment down below. Let me know, what are your guys' early predictions for the Royal Rumble 2024? Who you guys have winning the men's, and who do you have winning the women's? And I want to know all that down in the comment section down below. I love having dialogues and conversations with you guys. But with that being said, I appreciate you guys kicking on me, and I'll see you guys in the next video.